Hello, guys. Welcome to Southern Rebel Outdoors. I'm your host, Jay Huntsman. I know most of y'all are over here. I see I got one viewer. Don't know who you are. I'd like for you to comment so that way I'm going to say hi to you right now on the live chat. So, anyways, you're going to have to ignore what's on TV and all that crap over my head. It's a unfinished, 100%. It's a remodeled room. It's just it was done in such a hurry to get into the house that we didn't finish everything else. And you can obviously see where my brother and a few other people and other retards has been in this house has went through and done stupid shit. Excuse my language. Just give me a second here because I'm send this to a friend of mine. There's some people I know. But guys, I am getting there. Obviously, I've grown a few subscribers because I was at like 25, 26. But I am actually going to do. I know you all seen it. Come on, don't do that on me. Okay. Sorry, I'm running off my hotspot on my phone. Everybody knows. I know you seen this in the thingy-mabob over here on the thing where I got purchased 2 6 cents. I ordered 2 6 cents bags. I got one for me and one for a good friend of mine. Now these 6 cents bags, these are bags that are they're like the mystery tackle box pretty much, but better. In my opinion, they're better. Excuse me, guys. I'm going to change this out because this thing, I do not like my hat. It is freaking annoying. It's got that elastic band in there. I know I'm going bold, but I'm going to go with this one instead. The Bone Collector American Flag Edition. It's a lot easier. It's got one of these style in there, and it don't squeeze my head. But yes, I know it's taking me a couple minutes. But I am going to share with you guys some stuff. What comes in these bags. These are this month's more than likely because I ordered them right at the end of March. This one took a little bit to get in. I had a fight with FedEx because they almost had this a week behind schedule. It was literally 2 days over delivery date. And this one and my box that I picked up that had separate stuff in it than these 2 sacks that I just showed you. I got a black one here and that red one. This one's the standard, which I don't know if these come in different colored bags or not. I also have, this is the premium. This is the one that's going to be mine. This black one is going to a friend of mine's. This one right here is going to a friend of mine. So let's open it up and get it going. Okay, first up, we got this 6 cents stout white gap worm hook, 4/0. I mean, they're heavy wire, 5-piece. They're good. I've got some of their ox flipping hooks. They're pretty stout too. Okay, you seen that there. And what we got here is a black Vega frog. I mean, it's a real nice. This one is actually set different than other frogs. Okay, this one is an all-around frog. It's completely designed different than normal frogs. You got some that are poppers, some that are, you can do turn off that TV. That can do the walk the dog and style and stuff like that. This one's supposed to be able to do everything that you can do with 2 and 3 frogs in just this one. I did have another one exactly like this, but it wasn't black. It was in baby bullfrog. I went ahead and gave it to my buddy. He's a good friend of mine. He's looked out for me for quite a long time. And I've known him since we was in the 1st grade together. So this one's yours too. I don't know if you're watching or not. I've got you some good stuff. You got some 6 Sense Divine swim baits. 3.2 inch. These can go on as regular. You can use them as regular swim baits. You can hook them on the back of a chatterbait. You can hook them on the back of a spinner bait. You can even put them on a buzz bait if you wanted to. You can even put them on a swim jig. It don't matter. You can run these bad boys going good. These are awesome. These are awesome designed. I'm not going to open them up because they're my buddies. I'm going to leave them the way they are. I know everybody. I know there's other people out there that's partnered with like Milliken Fishing. He's partnered with 6 Sense, but here is the Provoke 106X and herring shad. It's the color. It's an awesome looking jerk bait. It's a jerk bait. I'm not too familiar with them. I'm not a jerk bait fisherman. I've never really messed with jerk baits. It's something that I'm not used to. It fishes around 1 to 6 feet, which I highly doubt you might be able to pause the video and look at that, or pause the live feed. I don't know. Then you got another one in here. And this is all going to my good friend that I've known for a long time because me and him was talking about good fishing stuff, and he's starting to pick up more and more on bass fishing. He's really getting an enjoyment out of it. Here's the Snatch 70X. Hold on. You ain't going to be able to see it in that wrap. That's the Snatch 70X. Right there. You can see it. It's the color on here says chrome bacon. Chrome bacon. It's a real nice one. I mean, I'm not too familiar with the color because I've never seen anything colored in bacon before. But like I said, he's got some good quality stuff in here and things of that nature. We're going to go ahead and get into the stuff that I got because I'm trying some 6 Sense stuff. I ordered quite a bit. Let's get into this couple. I got a couple bags of soft plastics here. The 3.3 inch Stoker Crawl and Green Pumpkin Burst. It's basically a crawl, and you can flip pitch with it. You can throw it on the back of a jig, or as I call them, pig and jigs. Actually, I'm going to show you what one looks like. I'm sure everybody knows what they are. Let me see if I can find it. I got it in here somewhere, I think. Yeah. I'm going to show you guys what I call a pig and jig, because that's what I've learned to call them years ago, but they're just jigs or structure jigs, flipping jigs. But the Divine Hybrid, right there. It's a 1/2 ounce. Comes in the color of grass mutant, as they say. You can throw them crawls on the back of that, or you can just use a heavy flipping hook and flip with them and heavy grass cover and stuff like that. I'm also going to talk about, we're going to get into the 4.2-inch prawn. The prawn is, it's almost like, it's a beaver style bait, pretty much what it is. It's a beaver style bait. If you know what a beaver tail is or beaver bait looking bait is, it's exactly what this is. It's black and blue flake. I did open it up right up here, which I didn't know at the time when I done it. This right here, see how they usually got little notches where you turn them? Well, you ain't got to do that. You can just, pop it right open just like that without even having to take it off. I didn't even know it. But I'm looking forward to trying out some of these baits. I'm going to show you some stuff that this is what I picked up to try, to give and to let my buddy try out. And I've already emptied out my 6 cents premium bag to get everything out and ready to go. Now I'm going to show you guys the ones that come in that bag. The prawn and the prawn and crawl come in the bag, which you've already seen that. But as my buddy got a black Vega frog, which I knew what it was because this is the same exact color. It's a black Vega frog. I'm looking forward to trying it because I got a couple of them, a couple different ones. I got another one in the Black Magic series color, which is like a blue color. I also have got in the bag the Curve Finesse Square Bill, what they call a natural crawl, which I don't know if you guys can see it. It looks like a crawl, but I've never seen a crawl with I've never seen a crawfish or crawdad, crayfish, whatever you want to call them. I've never really seen them with polka dots. I call them polka dots or dots, whatever you want to call them. I've never seen one with those before. It's a little different to me. And I also got this Divine Hybrid Jig, 1/2 ounce. That's what come in that. Now we're going to look into the box that I got separate from the bags that I ordered. Vega Frog. It's in the Black Magic series with that. So instead of being solid black or whatever, this one's actually a black and blue frog. I'm looking forward to trying it. It's new. It's something different to me, but I'm going for it. I did pick. Also what I got in my 6 cents premium bag. I got a Thud 70 1/2 ounce. Basically like a rattle trap. Even though it's not. It's a 6 inches version of a rattle trap. It's a Quake Thud 70 and that Black Magic series. I'm going to actually show you this one because it's a little bit harder to see inside the package. This was awesome when I knew I got it because I'm a huge fan of this Black Magic series. I absolutely love it. I mean, you can see that green eye with the black and blue tone to it. And then underneath the belly, it's got that chartreuse greenish chartreuse with a little bit of an orange tip. I mean, you guys can hear hear the rattle in it. It's awesome. And I'm looking forward to trying it. This Black Magic series, dude, I'm telling you, around here and a lot of places I have fished has been black and blue. A lot of black and blue. I've used black and blue soft plastics, and I get hit with them. I got a cousin of mine's got about a 20-acre lake, and if I go out there on certain, like, I don't know what time of the year it is. Sometimes this may not even be that. It may not even be a particular time of the year. That black and blue, and I'm not kidding you, it gets hit. So I'm looking forward to trying this. I've got a few other ones that's come in this series with the black and blue, or the Black Magic series, as I should say. Get this in there right. And stuff. I mean, it's amazing. And thank you to the one viewer that you are in here. I wanted to do an unboxing on live. It's a little different. I also picked up the Crush 50X from 6th Sense, and it's in the color Bluegilla. Or Bluegilla, sorry. I pronounced it wrong. Bluegilla. It looks like a lot of the bluegill around here, so I'm sure it is going to be a dynamite crank. I do use cranks. I got so many. I got rod and reels right now. I got so many of them. I got one crank. I got a swim bait rod. I got couple top water rods. I got couple different. Actually, I have one soft plastic rod. I have a jigging rod. Then I have my 2 spinning rods. One's hooked up on a Ned rig. The other one's hooked up on a shaky head. And everything. I've picked up a couple other baits too to try out. I wanted with the Crush 50X, it's a 3/8 ounce bait. It's a little lighter, so it's a little bit. It's a little light enough that you're going to have to really mess with your bait caster thing to go down. But I picked up another Crush 50X Black Magic series. I finally got them caught in stock of the Black Magic series. It's the same identical bait to this Black Magic series. There's literally nothing different in the coloration. It's just in a shallow water crankbait. This dives 2 to 5 foot, 2 to 5 foot rating. And that's where I usually end up catching all my crankfish anyways, in 2 to 5 foot of water. I mean, I've always crushed bass in 2 to 5 foot of water. I mean, because especially if I go out there my cousin's lake, his 20-acre lake, and I will crush them out there. But I also picked up another one because I was talking about this one earlier, just a few minutes ago. The Curve Finesse Crank square bill crankbait. It's a shallow water. It dives 1 to 3 foot. It's gonna be something new that I'm gonna try out. It's because it's a more shallow than normal. And I also picked up the Crush Flat 75X right here. That's what it looks like. I got it in boiled crawl and stuff. And everything. Give me 1 second here. Sorry, my cousin that hunts with me wanted to know if I was still live streaming. I said yes. But this color right here, I've been hearing a lot of people talk that you want something to imitate these crawls in the early spring. You could probably fish them all year long. I mean, I have had fish to where they bite on multiple different colors, like a lot of the black and blue, a lot of the crawl colors. They tend to hit on it. I mean, there's something about those they do. I also picked up another Crush Splat 75X in the Black Magic series. It's another 2 to 5 foot diver. It's a little bit heavier and a little bit bigger crank, but I like it and everything. But yes, that's what I picked up. That's mainly what I picked up. I picked up like five or so different baits. I picked up these two here, in 2 different colors, the bull crawfish and black magic. I also picked up this bluegilla and the Crush 50. I'm gonna try it out and see. And unlike other crankbaits, this is the most realistic crankbait I've ever seen in my life. I have never seen such a lively looking crankbait than that. That looks identical to a live bluegill, and it has the feeling of the live bluegill. Has the scale details down, has the gills, the whole 9 yards. I mean, it's top notch. But that's your 6 cents bags that I've showed you, and plus my extra that I picked up on. I'm not like Milliken Fishing where I can go spend big money on them as much as I'd love to, because I'm to the point now I'm a huge fan of those, because I've already got 4 or 5 crankbaits from them, and they're amazing. But I absolutely love the design of them, because I have what they got. Let's see how that's the Black Magic series. They have another one called the Black and Blue Crawl. It's almost similar to this, but it's not. The only difference is between that color and the Black and Blue Crawl is the black and blue crawl. The belly of it is solid black. On top of the eye is not green, so that makes a world of difference and everything. And I know I'm losing. The view. I ain't got the corona. When you got that darn spitbacker in your mouth, but I'm looking forward to trying some of these baits this year. I mean, especially this Stud 70, and I'm really down to try it. I picked up those, and plus this black magic frog. I'm gonna actually get it out to where you can see the different design in these frogs. You guys need to look at 6 cents. 6 cents, I'm telling you, they've made their stuff completely different. The gentleman who owns 6 cents and who started 6 cents used to be a college level fisherman. He is amazing. He started out from the bottom up, and everything. I mean, look at that. That just says come eat me. I mean, these frogs they're longer. Usually when I get frogs, which I've been told this, and I've done it and I've had better success doing it, is these right here that would be considered the legs, I've cut them a little short. I'll cut them off probably about right here. And I seen this on TV. This one guy said if you take and cut one leg shorter, just a tad bit shorter, like an eighth of an inch shorter, and do it that way. He says what it does is it causes that frog, when it sits on top of the water, to want to almost do a walk the dog type situation and everything. But the only difference with these 6 cent frogs versus other frogs that I have seen and I do own, I got one over here. Just give me a second and I'll show you. Now, this is an older frog that I have, but I took the hook out of it. It's a Strike King KVD Sexy Leopard Frog. It's in the leopard frog color from KVD and Strike King. As you notice, if you look, this side's going to be is a little bit longer than this side. Yeah, there's a few of them little strands of the what would be considered on the spinnerbait or buzzbait, the skirt. But I've shortened it up a little bit. But this right here, see how it's a little shorter, and see what it does is it makes that frog do a side to side motion. It turns it when you go to hop it into lily pads and hydrilla and heavy grass like moss and stuff like that. You'll see that want to shoot that side to side motion like a Czar Spook or the KBD Sexy Dog, to where it's what they call the walking dog move, where it swims side to side like that. I mean, just does that kind of situation. But the only difference in the design of the Strike King series versus the 6 cent series frogs, the difference is, okay, I don't know if you'll be able to see it or not, but there's a little hole right there. Well, what it does is when your frog will get full of water and you'll have to sit there and squeeze it. Well, what's supposed to happen is what it does is that with that hole being in back, and if that frog's setting up just a little bit, because there might be a little bit of water in there, or maybe it don't, just depending, it will. Sometimes if this thing gets full enough with water, it'll actually sink. I have had my frog sink, and I don't like that. Now, with 6 cents, because obviously, there's a 6 on the back for 6 cents. What they've done, there's no hole back here. Their hole is up here, right here, in between the hooks. Now, the thing with that being is you can sit here, turn it upside down. You could probably, I don't know where the mic or speakers, whatever on this, I'm sure you could probably hear it. But this frog is supposed to be set different than others. I mean, you can see it's got the popping like mouth, but it doesn't it's not only just a popping frog. It's a popping frog. It's a heavy color. You can do it regular. It'll even walk the dog. I mean, you can just have your way with it. And this is what I think. See if it's got a weight somewhere on this bad boy. I'd say it's probably almost a half an ounce here, because I'm going to use this. This is my black powder measure. I use it for measuring my black powder for my muzzleloader. Let's see if I can get an accurate reading on this. Let me set it over here by my TV. Ounce weight. Yeah, it's right at a half ounce. It's not a full ounce yet. So, but with this frog is going to be some dynamite, and especially in that black and blue color. I don't know what it is about black and blue with the bass where I'm fishing at, but they absolutely love it. I even lived in northern Indiana and fished a little creek about not even 2 miles down the road from my work. The creek literally ran right behind my work, and I used black and blue colored, and I tell you what, it was dynamite. I was catching 2 and 3 pounders, 4 pounders all day long. I could sit there for 3 hours and catch at least 15 different bass, and on a black and blue colored. Just something about black and blue. That black and blue. I mean, see that sexy. It's this black and blue on this frog of the body of the frog is like a shiny black and blue. And I'm dynamite to try this. I'm dead serious. I'm wanting to try this bad. It's real nice. And I love them. And that's just like this. This is a black Vega frog. I mean, it's solid black. There's no color to it or whatever. I mean, it's a real nice frog. I'm going to do the same thing with it as I am the others. I love having frogs because I love fishing them and watching them bass come up and just hammer it. And usually when they hammer it, they choke that sucker. I love it. And I gave my buddy, that makes 4 frogs. Yeah, that makes 4 frogs. He got a black Vega, and I also gave him one of the frogs like this, but it wasn't this color. It was called a baby bullfrog, and he's got it. I gave it to him already, and I'm ready for him to try it. I'm trying to get him to do the nerve to use it because he loves it. He's one of those guys. If it's not to dog him or nothing, because I absolutely love him to death. He's very, very good friend of mine. He is one of those, if he gets expensive stuff, he don't want to use it, which I understand where he's coming from, because the fact that, when you get expensive stuff and you lose it or something, you feel bad because you lost such an expensive lure, which these actually ain't that bad. They're about the same price as a KVD Sexy Frog. The only frog that's a little bit cheaper outside of Lunker Hunt and Walmart brand that would be the best bet to go with if you don't want to afford the $10, the $8.99 for Strike King and $9.99 for the 6 cents. The only ones outside of that are good quality, and I mean good quality, it's the Booyah Pad Crasher or the Poppin' Pad Crasher. I have a great smoky, or an old smoky as they call it, colored frog, and I use it and I catch bass on it too. It's almost a see-through gray color with black glitter. I guess that's what you want to call it, glitter, or black flake. But these are the ones that I'm ready to try out. The prawn, which is like a beaver style bait, I'm ready to try them out because I've got a lot of heavy cover. I just went and decided to make a flipping and pitching rod to where I'm running 3/8 half ounce, so, or ounce or so jig heads. These style of jigs for getting into that heavy cover. And I know Milliken Fishing. I'm a huge fan of him. I prefer to watch him over Lojo and a few other ones because he's not going to bull crap you on buying Guggen stuff. He knows his stuff. He's done enough that he's trying to help everybody catch fish. But that's the jig. It's got a very, very style hook on it. It'd probably be like that would probably be like a 4/0, maybe even a 5/0 jig hook. But in all reality, once that bass grabs a hold of that bad boy, not only is he's going to help when you go to set that hook and help keep that hook into place, that bass, once it swallows it, you ain't going to have to drive this super hard into the fish's mouth. I mean, this sucker is sharp. I mean, it's sharp, but this is a half ounce. This would be like a flipping pitching style jig. Most of my jigs I get, I fish around a lot of logs and a lot of heavy grass, and usually I fish the edges, and I pop them, or I'll get into shallow water, get right up next to cattails or cane or any of that kind of stuff, or heavy grass or it's sticking out of the water, and I'll fish right at the edge of that. And most of the time, I will slay bass on jigs. I'm not going to bullcrap you. I've been fishing since I was 6 years old, and I'm going to be 28. Actually, no, take that back. I've been fishing since I was 3 years old. Sorry, I mistake that wrong. Oh, those lunker hunts. Is that what you're talking about? Is there a? Let me see if I can. Hold on. The LUNKER. Where's the question mark? No. No. Go back. Hold on. Let me get. Okay. Yeah, Lunker Hunt does have some good frogs. I've seen some of the styles of their frogs. They're actually pretty nice. I like them. But the best ones for the on the cheaper side that are outside of the Walmart brand, I love Walmart does have some good style frogs. But when you're fishing a lot, which I've seen guys on YouTube use these Walmart frogs, they say they do not last. Now, don't get me wrong, I don't know nothing about the Walmart Ozark Trail brand fishing lures too much. I only own maybe 3 lures from them, which would be uh, a rattle trap kind, a crank, and actually 2 square bill shallow water cranks, and 2 and 1 rattle trap series. And I noticed my buddy he commented on here on his ladies thing. I had to look, and I didn't even know that he commented. But yes, Lunker Hunt does have some good frogs. Theirs is actually looks more like a frog than most. They don't have them skirt like appendages on them. But in all reality, I love them. Which, Levi, I don't know if you're still watching. I kind of figured it'd be you because you're on your old lady's account, but that's all right. We all good. I don't know if you've seen what come in your bag or not. I don't know if you're still on here. If you are, comment yes or no. But I'm gonna actually show you what come in your bag that I got for you. But which I'm hoping you are still on here. But you ended up with the Snatch 70X and Chrome Bacon. You got the Provoke 106X and Shad Herring. Which, I mean, if you want to, we can switch a bait or something. I'll find something that it's similar to the value of these, because I don't know. I'll have to look on their website and find out what they are. I mean, I don't know if you're okay. Yeah, I'm showing you right now. If you're down to try this out, go for it. If not, I mean, you can switch something. I'm down for it. I'll try it myself to see how I like it. I haven't really done too much jerk baits, but I mean, this jerk bait is not like most where they're real deep, almost like a deep diving jerk bait. This is actually a 3 to 6 foot deep, deep diving crankbait. It runs the 3 to 6 foot range, and you also got the Divine swim baits and the 3.2 inch Ghost Ice Minnow, which are nice. You can run these on the back of spinner baits. You can run them on the back of buzz baits. You can also run them on a chatterbait like the Z-Man chatterbait or the Strike King Thunder Cricket or the what's them other expensive ones through Z-Man. I can't think of what they are. They're expensive though, but they're nice. You did get one of these Black Vega frogs too, so you got one of those and that baby bullfrog that I got for you and I'd already gave you, so you don't have to worry too much on that. And you also got the stout wide gap hooks, or as I say, the wide gap worm hooks and 4-aught. They're stout, so you got 5 here, but I mean these are heavy wire gauged hooks, so you won't have no problem, Bubba. I mean, like I was saying earlier, I appreciate what you and your old lady are doing. I appreciate everything with y'all. And I will continue to talk highly of you until probably the day I die. And probably even then some, up there. But, and if you're wanting to try some of these, I'll get you a couple out of here to try. They're the Stoker Crawls. I've got some of those. Oh, well, actually, I don't have those particular ones. I've got another style of crawl. I also have the prawn beaver style bait, which I've bought 3 packs for fishing the heavy cover, which these are also nice. Excuse me. I got to hickam them up, so well, kind of. But, yeah, that's what you got in your bag and everything. And this is the color of your bag. And I've been waiting to do this this live stream, because I knew if I could get you on here, it will be awesome. But yeah, there's your Black Vega frog. I'm putting that in your bag now. Your stout hooks, which they are stout, so obviously, I mean, the name fits. And a 4-aught. Run them as a Texas rig, or if you really wanted to, you could get them weight stops that slide onto your line, which I'll have to show you how to do that, which is real nice. And you got your Divine swim baits. I'm putting in your bag. I'm putting your snatch. We'll get to that. I'm gonna try a few out. I'll probably give you a couple to try on the prawns and the Stoker Crawls. Stoker Crawl actually looks pretty damn sexy. I'll show you one of those in a minute. But here's your Snatch 70X in your chrome bacon color. Here, I'm gonna go ahead and take this stupid thing off her because it's so hard to see. Pick that up off my floor. But let me get this to where you can see. See how it says chrome bacon on there? It actually looks pretty juicy to me. Like in my all reality, like I'm gonna actually open it up for you so that way we can both get a good look at this. Okay. This here, it's real nice. You can barely see some of the colors, but it's got a bluish bluish back, if I can get the word out right. And my cousin's calling, but he can wait. But it's also got that orange belly. But the thing is, see, this kind of imitates between a shad and a herring. And it's got that blood red gill around it. And it's got you a red and black eye on there. So that I know is going to be dynamite. And see, you use a lot of monofilament. So the good side of that is you're going to have to really get that sucker stuck in order to lose it. That's the good side to mono. Mono is an all-around multi-purpose, top water, below water, jigging, all kinds of stuff. But oh yes, it definitely looks good. And yes, definitely. Yeah, that chrome, dude, that chrome. I mean, these are all, when the guy gets these, the guy who makes these, he does not put them on the market until he tests them. He makes his own designs. He makes his own, like what he'll do is he'll make his own, basically he'll make, what you call him? Basically he'll make the original copy first. Like he'll 3D print it or whatever, and he will paint it, test it out, see how it swims, the whole 9 yards before he goes big with it and puts it on the market and puts it on his website at sixcensefishing.com. But with that being said, yes, this is a very, very juicy color. That snatch 70, dude. I'm telling you, this stuff right here, brother, is going to be dynamite. I mean, there's nothing that I don't see you not. I mean, it may take you a little bit, but you will eventually, once you start finding the fish and getting them set. I'm sure some of these are going to be dynamite. But let's see. I already showed you that. I showed you roke, things of that nature. We're going to look at since he's on here with on my watching this, we're going to pull out these Stoker crawls, and I'm going to show you what they look like compared to other crawls. And these bad boys, they come in this little package, which are freaking awesome. I love those kind because, I mean, it really don't have a smell to it. It has more of a plasticky smell to it, but I'm telling you, I mean, just these things are loaded with the lubricant. But I mean, just look at that crawl. Seeing I ain't even got the appendages broke off yet to where they're actually open. Now that they're open, I mean, dude, I can just see a bass engulfing that. And see, here's the thing. I'm not sure if this is gold or hologram flake, but I mean, you can see the flash off that, and that's in a green pumpkin burst. And I'm telling you, that green pumpkin color in between green pumpkin and black and blue. Don't know what it is about these colors, but them bass love them. I have yet to find a place where a green color does not work. And everything. Make sure these shut right. Yeah. I'm going to also show you my prawn. I have to stop and think here because, I'm getting on the subject to talk about different styles of baits. Them soft plastics, dude, I'm telling you, these are the most juiciest baits. And see, that's what I love about 6 Sense when it comes to their crankbaits and stuff. They test their products before they test their products themselves. The owner of 6 Sense, he tests his products before he ships them out to the market to where people like me, you, and anybody else can buy these suckers. He tests all his products. Now, these prawns, on the other hand, are some juicy looking beaver style baits. These right here also come in this little package. I've had it open once, like I mentioned earlier in the video. But I mean, just look at that. Now, if I was a bass, I'd be wanting to munch on that. The only difference with this bait versus another bait that I got, let me show you one of the other style baits that I got. I got to turn my tackle box around because I keep that one in the house because it's got the most valuable stuff in it. Yeah, we'll just go with this color right here. This is the KVD Perfect Plastics Rodent, as they call them. Watermelon Red Flake, 6-pack 4 inch, which those are 4.2 inch. So you're probably looking about an inch, 4 1/8 inches, or 4 1/4 inches, or something like that. Now these ones, on the other hand, they do come in they have that kind of plastic thing like the 6 Sense does, but they're a little bit different. Them don't have that. See, now look at that. See how they got that? It's almost identical, but it's not. These are right here are some juicy looking baits when you're flipping in that heavy cover. Like that heavy grass, you're flipping up into hydrilla, you're flipping up into lily pads. It's a little bit different. These are what most people call a reaction strike bait. These right here, I mean, you want to tear them apart to where they actually flutter in the water. But I mean, just look at that. I mean, to me, I know this may sound weird. It almost looks like an octopus / squid style bait. Almost. I mean, it does. The only difference is it has these two, which technically in this one, because it's not torn apart yet, it has that beaver style tail. Only difference between these and that Strike King, these ones here smell more like a plastic, which I really don't care because sometimes that scent does not make a difference. I mean, if it's in front of a bass's mouth and that sucker's hungry, he's just going to engulf it. I mean, I've even had bass swallow the hook almost completely inside their stomach to where you almost had to kill the fish in order to get the hook out. Most places I do go, I don't keep a lot of bass anymore. I used to be big on wanting to keep bass because our bass, when my great grandmother had her pond before my uncle took it over, there's a heavy population of bass in there, along with catfish and bluegill and crappie, so it didn't matter. But these style baits right here would probably been good in there. Then you get into these bad boys right here. These right here. Now, what most people don't know with these Strike King baits, or in other terms, since Strike King owns them, the Rage brand, which about what these are is the Rage brand. What these are is infused with coffee scent. I mean, they have a very sweet, almost coffee-like smell to them, and it almost, if you use a fish and you want a caffeine burst, I would eat it. I know I'd eat it. I'd eat all my lures. No kidding. I mean, I'm not kidding you. I just straight up, I'm not kidding you. That's the way I would do it. But that being said, I mean, I love them. I'm getting into completely different fishing than what I'm used to fishing. I mean, but yeah, that's Watermelon Red Flake of the Beaver Style series. I've also got Summer Crawl, same style. I also have what they call Why is there some missing out here? Maybe because I've been using them. I don't know. I don't keep track. I forget which ones I get and which ones I don't. But these bad boys right here are what they call a California crawl. They all have that. I want what? You talk about I want to eat the lure. You know, I know this is going to sound weird. I'm probably one of the weirdest freaking goofy guys out here. I will take zooms and stuff like that. Like if I bite, because with these, when you're rigging them up on a jig, you want to bite about the first. Here, I'm going to just use the prawn curl or the prawn style. The first about 3 ribs you want to take. Hold on, if I can get it up here right. When you're running this on a jig, like where the heck did it go? Like this hybrid Divine Swim jig. When you're running them on this, you want to take the first 3 off of there, so that way it can slide up onto your the little thingy that they give you to hold your bait. Or in some of them, they'll give you a wire holder and stuff like that. But when they're salt pregnated, like Zoom and some of the Strike Kings and some other brands that have that salt in there, when I go to rip that off, I don't just rip it off. I get the salt out of there. I don't know why. I'm just weird. I'm not going to lie. I am a weirdo. But in all reality, I think I just like the salt because the salty taste to it. But I don't swallow the stuff because I don't know what's in that plastisol, or I don't know what that plastisol can do to me, so I don't swallow. I just get the salt out of it to get that salty taste, and then just spit it all out. I'm just a weirdo. I mean, obviously. I mean, my buddy Levi over, he can tell you. I did pick up some of these bad boys right here. These are some Zoom lizards. These are something that I've not really fished a whole lot. This is a moccasin blue. I don't even, where did I find these at? Walmart? Actually, yeah, it was Walmart. I picked them up at Walmart. I have so many different kind of styles. I know what I'm doing for July 4th, and I probably won't use nothing else that day. But I'm going to bring in another brand. And I absolutely love anything American color. I mean, obviously, I got an American edition, American flag colored Bone Collector edition hat. I mean, if you look at the back of it, I mean, look at that American flag, boys. That's sexy. I love it. But this is a culprit worm called Fire and Ice. Now, I don't know if Lojo's fished with these or not. But this right here, I actually caught one on last year with. It's a laminated worm. It's a laminated worm. It's got that 2 different colors. It's a double laminate. It's a laminated, as they call them on. If you look up World's Worst Fishing, he's a plastic lure maker, and he will explain to you the whole situation. He makes single colors. He makes laminate colors. He even makes triple injected laminated lures. Now that Fire and Ice, I just love it because it has that red and blue color to it, and I am all about that American color, boy. I'll tell you, I love them. I'm a very happy camper when I see red, white, and blue. I want them, and if I can ever find a red, white, and blue bait caster series, I probably will end up getting it just because it's American colors. That's just like Lew's has the American Hero edition, and each time you buy the American Hero series, proceeds from them reels go back to ATT. What's het? You got me confused. Man, these are another culprit worm. These are watermelon red core, as they call them, which technically are pretty wicked. Now, you guys may find this a little weird, but this is a light green with a red core, red glitter core culprit bait. Yeah. See, well, technically, I kind of do, kind of don't. I already have one like that. I got one. It's the American Hero Edition, black and blue color, uh, reel from Lose, and it has American Hero on there, and it's a built one. I gave like $60 for it by itself, and I paired it up with a Shakespeare Ugly Stick Light Pro medium heavy rod, and I mainly use it with use it for my cranking rod. And the string that's on it has 14-pound fluorocarbon. Matter of fact, we're going to get into that since I'm on this chat. I'm going to break some of this down for some guys that don't know too much, because I have learned a lot over the years, and I'm picking up more and more every year as I go down the road. Okay. And this is my line, and that's a ton of line and everything, but this is mainly my jigging, cranking, soft plastic bait type line. It's the Berkley Vanish 100% fluorocarbon line. Yes, I do, Hunter. I really do. This fluorocarbon, the difference between fluorocarbon and this is here, these two here, the same company, just different styles. This right here is a multi-purpose used line. It's the Berkley Trilene XT monofilament. Mono meaning one. It's a one continuous strand. But the thing with this is this stretches a lot. So when you go to set the hook, you have to drive the hook in, because this has so much stretch to it, like a rubber band. It makes it completely different. Yeah. But I have one rod set up with the Trilene XT 14-pound. I like my 14. 14, it's a multi-purpose used weight. I like 14 because it's not too light and it's not too heavy. It's an in-between line. It's perfect. I set my drags just right. I can pull fish out of some heavy stuff. And most of my top water, I run spider wire, stealth braid, 50-pound. And what most people don't tell you versus this Suffix 832, which it's actually, I have yet to try it, but I'm wanting to try it. It's a 30-pound line. That'll probably be more of like, I'm probably going to use that on something a little different. But with this line here, with spider wire, it has it says 50-pound on it, but it takes 65 pounds of force to snap it. And that goes for all their line. Usually has a 5 to 10-pound rating higher, maybe even 15-pound higher breaking strength. Like now, if you get with spider wire 80-pound braid on it, what they will tell you, because I found a little chart of this one time on one of their spools, it showed that each and every line has this different thing. Like 30 was 40, 40 was 50, 50 was 65, 65 was 80, 80 was 104, and 100 was 140 pound breaking strength. So it was rated higher than what it really was when it was just only that pound diameter. Now with braid, I run 50 pound because it has the equivalent of 14-pound diameter test line, like for like monofilament or maybe even fluorocarbon. Fluorocarbon is a good all around. It's a good, better style cranking, jigging, soft plastics type uh, line. I mainly use it a lot on cranking and jigging. I even run it on my swim baits. Speaking of swim baits, I'll show you what I'm talking about because some people don't know. Swim baits are these bad boys right here. It's the Rage Swimmers. This is the black and blue. Yeah, black and blue. It's got black with blue underbelly. What I do with these, I got a special hook that is called the swim bait hook, and I rig these up, and I only known as 3 3/4 inch swim baits. I don't get the 4s. I don't get the 3 3/4 inch. I get the 3 3/4 inch, or also known as 3.75 inch swim baits. These are just perfect. I mean, yeah, you'll get dinks hit them, but I've hooked into some big bass on some these bad boys. And I mean, I got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 of these for $5.39 at Dunn's and Marion. But I love them. That's it. Yeah. These here are the same thing. These are actually technically in a completely different pack than what they're supposed to be in, because these are what they call the electric shad. I had to find the right pack because this one has the what would be in this, the KVD Magic. I put them in here because I had more of these than I had of these. These was just taking up room. So I just wanted to downsize them because I don't use the KVD Magic much. I'll use the electric shad. Between the electric shad, the pearl flash, because you can see it's got it's a white with a clear, it's a laminated white top with a clear silver flake belly. And last year alone, I was getting hammered on it a lot. And I love these style of swim baits and if you really pay attention when I fish these, and when they go to dive, they dive like an injured minnow or injured shad. And then bass, they could be sitting there and just watching me swim that. And the second I stop that, and that sucker starts to go down, I've even had them hit it on the fall immediately. Like as soon as I catch the line, as soon as that sucker gets, good 2 to 3 foot down, smack. And they're already running off with it before I even know that the fish is even on my line. But then Pearl Flash, the electric shad, I'll show you the color difference on these because these are R limited as well. These have that coffee scent with them, but see how it's got that laminated soft plastic color? It's a two color laminate. It's got like a green, almost a greenish watermelon on top with black flake. Then at the bottom it has a holographic like flake, which is it puts off multiple different colors, like a blue, green, purple colors to it, to make it really pop in the water, especially when it's going down and it's sitting there, doing its dead fish like motion. And I don't fish heavy weights or heavy weighted hooks with these special swim bait designed hooks. I run a lot of 1/16 ounce, 1/32 ounce. I mean, even clear into 1/8 ounce weights. I use lightweights for the reason of it has a better tendency to actually swim, and when it does go to start sinking, it sinks slower, but it also gives that dead injured bait fish like motion, which really triggers them bass. I've even, dude, and I promise you, I'm not kidding you. And you see, these are 3 3/4 inch, or also known as 3.75 inch. I've had dinks that are smaller than a pound eat this thing, and I still, to this day, I can't figure out how in the world they can fit such a big bait in that little tiny mouth that's like that big. But they do. They, when they're hungry, their bellies, when they see, their eyes are bigger than their stomachs, and I get a crack out of it. But I love it. I have so much fishing tackle, it ain't even funny. I don't even know where in the heck my lid went. Oh, there it is, from my fishing line. But in all reality, yeah, I mean, I've educated myself a lot over the years since 1996 when I first started fishing, which I was 3 at the time. I was 3 then, which my buddy would have been 3 at the time. And yeah, we definitely we definitely I've spent many years educating myself because I didn't know a thing from my butt about bass fishing. And then over the years, the more and more I done it, the more and more I learned. The more and more I learned, the more I started catching fish. And the more I started catching fish, just drew me to want to be bass fishing constantly. And I love bass fishing. Bass fishing's one of my favorite things to do. I mean, it's one of those set in stones that you don't just cast out your line. You sit there and wait on a fish to strike. You're constantly moving, looking for the fish, or go figure out where they're at in that heavy cover. They can be in heavy cover. They could be down deep. They can be, I mean, all over the place. And I tell you, it makes a world of difference, and it makes it so much funner doing it. And stuff. That's why I choose to bass fish, because you're not just setting, you're actually moving around constantly. Like, you'll cast maybe 10 casts here in a certain spot, then you're going to go to another spot. And if you figure out that, oh, well, they're not biting on this lure today, you're going to go to something else. That's why I have so many rods. So that way, if I'll do about 5 or 10 casts with one rod, 5 or 10 casts with another, 5, 10 casts, 5, 10 casts, until I find what they're hitting on. And if they're not hitting on none of that, I'll start switching around, getting everything ready to go back through other places in a different spot and start hitting these bad boys. But in all reality, they are freaking awesome. Did I put that up? Yes, I did. But in reality, Levi, I'm going to eventually pick up some of these bad boys. Not right now. I'll talk to you later on about it. But these hybrid jigs, dude, I'm going to teach. You're still getting into bass fishing. I know you're really loving it, which I'm proud of it, because, dude, something about bass fishing, it's one of those, you have to constantly move in order to find the fish, because you can't expect the fish to come to you. You have to go to them most of the time. Now, when you're in a boat, you can move around, but sometimes them fish will come to you if you're in the right area. Like, if you're fishing heavy hydrilla and lily pads and stuff like that, them fish, they have so much shade over the water to where they can actually see longer distances, especially if it's in really clear water to where you're saying you're about 4 foot deep and it's clear all the way down 4 foot. They can see clear across that water. And let's say your baits 20 yards, 30 yards away from them or so. So you're looking at between 60 and 90 foot in distance wise from where that one particular bass is. He'll see it. He won't know what it is. He'll go over and he'll investigate first. He'll try to make an investigate and say you throw it right back in that same spot, or maybe you even moved a little closer to him after he's moved. He sees that and it drops right in front of his face. He's gonna be like, "Oh man, that's juicy, man. I'm hungry too." Eat that sucker. Set the hook. Really, man? Oh look, you got a fish. But yes, that makes a world of difference. I'll just throw that in my box. I put everything all in this bad boy. But yeah, guys, I try to be an informal as much as I can, try to pass on my education to bass fishing. Levi, I'm going to start showing you, I don't know if you're still in here or not, but I'm going to start showing you the more in depths of it than most. I'm like you, I want to fish soft plastics, but once you get into cranking and top water fishing and jigging and stuff like that, you're up in your game and you're putting more on your box that you're seeing that are phenomenal. Like you can have a day to where you won't catch nothing, but the next day you'll catch, almost 200 fish. I've had days to where I've gone out and I have caught up to almost 100 fish in that day. And it depends on where I'm at. I like going down to a place called Lake Glendale around here. I got to go up to a place called Dolan's Lake, which is up where my buddy lives. And I go to the reservoir, which I've not fished that one enough yet to figure it out. But Dolan's Lake, I've got figured out for cover wise and things like that because I've been up there so much that I've learned. It's like Lake Glendale. I have figured it out on where the fish are going to be at because there's a lot of heavy cover in there. And most of the time on them hot days, like say a day like today, they're going to be up in that heavy shallow water grass cover looking at that shade overlooking where they can see. Sometimes they may not even be able to see 2 inches in front of them, but if you drop that prawn in there, or you drop that stoker crawl in there, or you drop one of them Strike King Rage rodents in there, and you get it right in front of their face, they're gonna be like, "Oh," which is called a reaction strike because they see it, they don't know what it is, but they still gonna eat it. That's why they say in springtime, most of your strikes is what you're doing is you're coming up on the bass spawning beds. And with doing that is when you're coming by there, like say it was something like a crawfish imitation. Actually, this ain't the best crawl imitation. That's just, I don't know what the heck you want to call it. But say you come up in there with a crawl imitation like this Crush Flat 75X. That Crush Flat 75X in a crawl color. You swim that right next to them. They're going to think, "Oh, that's a crawfish. He's about to destroy my eggs or something. I'm going to eat him." Okay? And that's what they're doing. They're protecting their nest. So anything they see, they will chase away. I've watched bass be on their nest, and you'll watch bluegill try to dart away from bass because then bass are trying to attack them because they don't want nothing near their nest. I've even watched bluegill chase other bluegill, but that crawl imitation like this, especially in the springtime and even into the fall when these transitions where you're getting these warmer waters is going to make a world of difference. Another color. Another one that's going to be dynamite because obviously it imitates a bait fish to them, which is also known as another type of fish to us, as that bluegill color, this is the bluegilla bluegilla, gilla as I should say, not gilla. It's got that bluegill imitation. I mean, you can see it. I mean, look at that. You cannot tell me that does bluegill. That right there is so close to some of the bluegill we got around here. I've caught many a bluegill this exact color. Do they have these style bars? Them bars are usually faint to where you can't see them or you just don't notice them, but they're there. Because I've watched people catch, and I've caught bluegills and think, people are funny. They ain't got no bars, and I've actually had to sit and stare at them for a good 2 minutes before I put them back in the water, but made sure that they're still alive. And like, oh well, they do have, those stripes on there. And usually I'm not live this long, but I'm going because I'm talking, different stuff. And with all 6 Sense baits, they have either the 6 or the 6 Sense name on them. They're good. I mean, it does. Hold on, if I can get it up there right. It does have them knockers in there, and I'm ready to try this to really pee some bass off and see if I can't hook into something bigger than my 9.5 pounder. That's the biggest one I've got so far, but that's been probably around 10 to 15 years ago. And, that's been a long time. I tell you, I'm getting old. Levi, don't comment on that. I know you're probably still watching. I'm not sure, but, just don't comment on that because I know you're going to say, yeah, I know you're saying I'm old too, which I'm not. Which I know me and you's not very far apart in age, but that just something about those crawls and those bluegill colors. I've heard a lot of pros tell you these colors because you will dynamite them. I also have other baits that kind of simulate the colors. Let's see if I can do this. Oh, I'm getting too fat for this. No, get up there. My crank box. I have so many freaking cranks in this one thing. It ain't funny. But I've got something that's similar to a crank. That is similar to identical to that bluegilla. That bluegilla. That bad boy right there. That is a bluegill spawn color, as they call it. I will literally show you how close these are in color. Get this Crush 75 or Crush 50X out. Now look at that. Those are imitating bluegill colors. They're both 3/8 ounce. This kind of imitates more of like a bluegill hybrid almost, or something along the bluegill line. This one imitates a normal bluegill, but this one imitates more of a, probably would be technically a bluegill spawn, as they say. And I tell you, dude, it's crazy. Now, if you really want to get into detail and color of fishes, check that bad boy out. That is called the KVD or spitting image, something like that. Of the KVD, this is a 1.5 crankbait, which runs 2 to 5 foot, just like that does. They imitate that color. They're identical. This is supposed to be a brim color, which is another term for probably, I guess, a bluegill. I don't know. They say brim. There's so many different lines of the sunfish bluegill lookalikes that it's not even funny. I also have one of these bad boys, spitting image of gizzard shad. It's amazing. I mean, it's another 1.5 inch. I also have it in the KVD series traps, rattle traps, or the what do they call them, like the red eyed shad or something like that. I also have the like gizzard shad of the Sixth Sense 50 Crush. Have it in that color. Also have one of these, that black and blue coral color. You can find some of these colors at Walmart if you really look. Like this color, that black and blue coral, you can that bluegill spawn, you can. I also picked up some of these here within, I don't know, it's been a little while ago. I think like last year or something. But that right there is a blackback, chrome colored. That is a gizzard shad. I mean, literally, it is so chromed out. You can literally see the camera bouncing off of that, shooting at me. I mean, see, you can literally see my finger moving in that camera. That's how reflective that thing is. That imitates a gizzard shad. Gizzard shads are the most popular shads that you will find in most fisheries around here. Now, I do not remember exactly what color this is right off the top of my head, but it is another snatch. That's either the snatch or the quake. They have two different series from. This is a threadfin shad. Why I say threadfin? You might not pick it up on camera on this camera, but there is a really, really faint chartreuse line in there for a threadfin color of a threadfin shad. These right here, bad boys, I'm telling you. Some of the, you want shad, you want bluegill, and you want coral colored bait. And see, with those, it's got that rattle system, man. And I'm telling you, some of those bad boys are freaking ridiculous. I also have maybe three of these. I think two of these red-eyed shad from Shark King, and some red-eyed series of this. This is called the Sexy Shad color, which actually, if you really want to get technical, it would imitate the same color as this would be. This is called the threadfin shad. This is too. This has that threadfin color, and you can actually see the line in it. This one you can't really see the line in. But in all reality, and this is what I was talking about Walmart baits earlier. There's a Walmart bait. To me, it kind of does look like a bluegill, but because I got an app on my phone for Walmart, when I scanned it, it showed this color as a, god dang it, another popular fish, perch, a perch color. I also have it in one of these, them goofy style knockoff versions of the rattle traps. And there is the KVD 1.0 sexy shad colored crankbait, and it's another 2 to 5 foot deep crank. I have tons of those shallow water cranks because I am a shallow water crank nut. There's another one. That's a Walmart brand, Squirt Bill, in that what would be considered the sexy shad color. This one, on the other hand, because I don't know, the company's hard to find, but it's called Cultiva. It's a Cultiva brand, which you might not be able to see that. It's another crawl imitator. It's a little bit smaller. I'd say this is probably, I don't know, it's smaller than a 1.0. It's probably a 0.5 or 0.9 or something size. I don't know how to determine the size of that one. I also have, I picked it up last year. It's a $15 bait. It's a $15 swim bait. I have yet to try it, but it's not, it's a hard swim bait. It's not a soft plastic like I was showing you earlier. One of these Mike Becca baby bull shads in the gizzard shad color. I'm actually wanting to try to pick one up in the bluegill color, but look at that. I mean, it is just sexy, got sexiness written all over it. I have so many, I mean, look at that. I have cranks stacked on top of cranks in here, and I've got more cranks that I just ordered. This right here is the injured gizzard shad and the red-eyed shad color from KVD. Have one of those. I got another injured gizzard shad in the Cotton Cordell series. That's what this. That's what that one is too. Same thing. This one's just new and this one's not. And I also have the color what they call Fire Tiger from Cotton Cordell. This is the Big O. It's another shallow water crankbait. And this is a perch. This would imitate more of an actual perch color because it's got the orange and yellow, green with the black back and stuff on it, like an actual perch does. And I'll tell you what, some places I went and used this sucker, and I mean, just as fast as I could cast it, almost every single cast. There, once in a great while, I'd get a cast that did not have a fish on it. But I'm pulling out now the Curve Finesse Square Bill. I'm gonna put it in here since I got this open. But I mean, dude, that's just got sexiness on it. Yeah, we all know I'm old, Skyler. Shut up. But yes, these things right here, these are wicked. I mean, I just absolutely love the design of these. Levi, I'm gonna get you. Your bag's over there. I don't know if they gave you one of those crankbaits or not. I don't even remember what all they gave you crankbait wise, or if any crankbaits. They gave you they gave you that one. They gave you the frog and that. I'm probably going to give you a couple of the, or just I don't know. We'll figure something out. But I'm gonna get you in on some of these 6 cents, dude. I want you to get a feel of these bad boys. I'm telling you, these just something about these are so realistic, and even when they swim, they're so realistic. Like I said to you guys and others earlier, these crankbaits and all the other baits that 6 Cents makes, he tests his products before he ships them out to the consumer. And I'm not kidding you. This dude is he was a college level professional fisherman. I don't remember. I think it was like Texas A&M or some college that he was going to. He was professional. And how he got started is a show on ESPN, something to do with some fishing company or some fishing outfit. They gave him a kit to where he could paint crankbaits and stuff. Well, he got that, started making them, started doing his own custom colors, started building up multiple things over time. And he wanted to make his own, and now he owns 6 Cents. And I'm telling you, these things are so realistic compared to other crankbaits that I've owned. Like, this crankbait does not have that gill to it. If you look, when I show you these two, You can see how that head's wider, and how you can see that gill plate on there. See, there's no gill plate on that one. Companies don't, some of those companies just make them flat. This has that 3D realistic, like, back to it. It don't have the fins or nothing, but it just imitates that bait fish. That's why it is one of those lures that it's going to be a dynamite one. Let's go with the 75, or the Crush Flat 75X. I mean, just look at that color, that crawl color. And it's a bigger crank. It's a bigger style crank. This would probably be 2.0 or 2.5 in the Strike King series cranks. But it's still a shallow water diver. But this right here is thinner than those from Strike King. It's a thinner, more of a flatter bait. It does not. That's why it's called this Flat 75X. But it still has that realistic gill scaled pattern on here. Then it's got the realistic gills. If I don't hook my finger, I know everybody's probably laughing at that one on that. Go to try to do something, you go to move your finger, you know you got sharp hooks. And if I'm not mistaken, I cannot 100% guarantee, but at one point in time when he was putting the together and stuff, he was using Mustad hooks, and Mustad's actually a pretty good brand company. But I mean, obviously, you've seen how sharp they are. I mean, just look at that. That is just. I mean, I'm just barely even touching that. I mean, just look at that. That tells you these, when you set that hook, you're going to drive it. If you slam on that or slam on that rod when you go to set that sucker, you're going to set that hook so far deep into that fish's mouth it's going to be almost impossible for him to throw that bait. I see a lot of people. Yes, sticky sharp hunter. I don't call them sticky sharp. I just call them, like, in other terms, I don't have them anymore. But there's a company, Eagle Claw has a branch off company called Laser Sharp, which I have Laser Sharp in my catfish tackle box. Actually, I have some in my jig / terminal tackle box. Jig / terminal tackle. I have Laser Sharps in here. Come here. You can see I got some Ned rigs here and here. I got my tube jig heads, got my regular jigs, got some other little odd and end type things in there. I got most of my jigs up here. That's what I usually have. Shaky heads, a few different brands. This is a local company. VMC, shaky head. Now, those swim bait hooks that I was mentioning earlier, since I'm already on this subject, I'm going to get on there. We're going to get on this subject of where I was talking about swim bait hooks and stuff. Okay. But before I do, there's a Laser Sharp. That's a Laser Sharp 5-aught wide, extra wide worm gap hook. It's got that sharp on there. But they have another one. I guess it's a branch off of Laser Sharp as well, or it's probably a partner of Laser Sharp. I don't know how it works. I have not dug into it to really find out. But they have a company called Laser Trocar, to where on their package it says hypodermic needle sharp. Now, mind you, okay, yeah, I used to not like shots, but I don't care anymore. I'm getting too old, too pointless. Okay. Now that right there, that's called a weighted belly swim bait hook. What you do, this is a 1/16 ounce, so you see how tiny that little weight is. Just give me a second, I'll get you just a slightly bigger, heavier one, where it's a little bit easier to actually see You see the weight. That's a 1/16. Here, well, 1/16. I've got a couple different. I've got 3 or 4 different sizes in here because I am a nut when it comes to swim baits. Because I've once I got into that and started slaying fish off of them, I wanted to get more and more. But that's another one. Hold on, that's another VMC brand right there. That is a 3/32 ounce swim bait. It's just slightly heavier. I have this is a Gamakatsu swim bait series hook as well, and it's sharp. I mean, it's not as sharp. Well, now that because tips of my fingers are always weird, but because because I do so much work with them, they kind of like callous. But that is a 1/8 ounce Gamakatsu swim bait hook. Now, mind you, let me get you one that I can really show you how these actually work. We'll just use one of these 3/32 ounce. I'm gonna have to go through these later and get them all sorted back out because they're just doing all kinds of crazy stuff, and I try to keep them organized. And every time, because the box actually has to set sideways in my bag because it's a tackle bag, not a tackle box. It's an actual tackle bag, and it's different. But here is that 1/32. Not 1/32. 3/32 VMC brand, which is made by. It's a company by Rapala. If you know Rapala Lures, that's who makes them. It's a VMC brand. Okay, we'll just use one of these bad boys right here. This is that pearl red or whatever color. I'm going to show you how to rig these jobs. And once you learn how to rig these jobs and you start fishing with them, it's ridiculous. Okay, see there? See how that has that little, it has like a little almost indentation in it? When you go to rig it up, stick that sucker, stick the end of that little thingy right there, you stick it right inside that, and you twist that bait. Twist that bait until you get right there and you get that color lined up to where that color is actually more on top and this on bottom. See what that does is when you go to set the hook, if that bait comes off, you got a better chance of that bait staying on that spring than anything. But when you go to set this up, there's a little hook slot right there that the hook goes in, so that way when it goes down, it goes over. And there's a hook slot on the top. When you go to do this, what I have learned, because I am such a perfectionist when it comes to rigging my soft plastics, because I'm a freaking weirdo. That's exactly how it sets. You can't even tell. Look at that. You can't not tell that I've even got the hook all the way through that bait. And look, watch. What that is up there at the top, because you can see it right there. You can see the tip of the hook. The tip of that hook has more of a downward angle, but usually when a bass goes to hit it, they come up, they swallow, they push down on that bait, on that hook. And when that hook has that much right there showing, you can set that hook.
and it will. And usually at that point, it's drove so far in there, like so far in their mouth, it's going to take you a couple minutes to get that sucker out of there. But when you do that, that weighted belly hook, see what it does is it makes it swim like a like when it goes down, it don't just go straight down. It actually that tail, because this has such a big tail that has that big paddle tail. That big paddle tail causes it to swim like you see a normal swim. Like if you have a fish tank, you'll watch a goldfish go up to the top to eat the little food, then it'll wag its little tail going back down deep where it's doing that. But what that does when it does that, it's causing that bait to go sideways in the water at the same time, which is making it look injured. And then bass see that and they're like, "Oh, injured bait fish. I'm hungry, I'm gonna eat." But that's how you rig. That's not how you rig. That is how you rig a swim bait. I get these hooks. That's what I use when I say I got a swim bait rod. That's what I use. I don't put them on the back of a chatterbait. I do not put them on the back of a spinner bait. I do not put them on the back of a buzz bait or any of that kind of stuff. I put them on a regular swim bait design hook. These are also designed not only to be fish like that, as the ones that I've mentioned. There's a rig called the Alabama rig, or also known as the A rig. It's usually a multi hook. You can see now in the state of Illinois, some places, maybe like Dolan's, there's a 2-line and hook limit. Now, if I go down to like the Ohio River or go to McLeansboro Reservoir or somewhere like that where they don't have a 2-pole line limit or whatever, if they don't have something saying that there's supposed to be 2 hooks, you can use multiple. So that Alabama rig or that A rig, it usually has 5, 6, 7. It can have God knows how many. It's one particular thing that looks similar to this, but it has multiple little wires coming off of it with what I call swivels, but they're not swivels. They're snap swivels, what they are. It's a completely different one. And what they do is when you go to rig them up, you get a weighted jig head and you run it through the back of this like that. And what it does is it imitates a school of bait fish. And that's where you'll even catch more bass on those. But when I went to get the other stuff, some like more baits and stuff, when I did pick up, I was going to pick up an Alabama rig or an A rig. But the thing was, my Walmart was sold out of them, and I wasn't going anywhere far enough to get one. So I just upped and said, I'm not going to get one this time. I'll eventually have me an Alabama rig. But I'm going to have to get a heavy duty rod and heavy duty and run probably 17 to 20 pound fluorocarbon on it. But guys, this video is gone long. I love each and every one of you. Give me a like and subscribe on here. I also forgot to mention in here, I think, I'm not 100%, but I forgot to mention in here, I'm your host of Southern Rebel Outdoors. And also going to be Rebel, or not Southern Rebel, SRO Fishing, which is my brand. And once I get it going, this is just on my personal account right now. But because I got to get through to where I can remember all my passwords, because I got to get my password for my SRO Fishing and I got to get my password for my Southern Rebel Outdoors channels. I got to remember those and get them all hooked up to this laptop. But in all reality, I appreciate each and every one of you. And I know y'all still here. You're in and out. I know Levi is going to be in and out because he's got kids to worry about. But I appreciate every one of you, love every one of you, and hopefully in the future, if I can get to where I can grow off of my Southern Rebel Outdoors and my SRO fishing, once I can get all that done, I will start doing videos over on that channel, and I will be linking them. If you can follow me on Facebook, and you can just look me up on Facebook at SOR308. That's my Facebook page. Then you can go into my Instagram is bowhunter9308. Whoops, hit my laptop. 93 bowhunter9308 on Instagram. Add me there, because I'm gonna, once I get everything going and I get back to fishing, hopefully, which is going to be with the next couple of days before anything else. Then when before my buddy Levi needs me again to come up there and help him do some work, I'm planning on doing some fishing until I can figure out how to get that camera, technically be right there, till I can figure out how to get that thing to put pictures or to videos and stuff on here, because I've got it. I've got the SD card reader. I've got one for a trail camera and I've got one for my laptop, because this laptop only does micro SDs, and I can't do micro SDs because that camera, it takes the regular sized SDs. I could try to get them inverters, but I don't know if my camera will read them, because the fact that that only runs off of the regular size SD cards. I don't have one in front of me. I'm not going to get up to move to go get one, but I'm going to go ahead and switch off of that for a minute and get this bad boy right here going. This is my new fishing hat. I need to get comfortable with it because it's got that elastic band in the back of it. I got to get used to it because I want this to be my fishing hat, so that way it can get all dirty and stuff. I don't want that red, white, and blue American flag edition Bone Collector Series hat getting dirty. That's why I chose this hat as my fishing hat. I think I got it at Walmart. Yeah, I got it at Walmart. I've got, I mean, you guys can't see those, but I've got hats across there you guys ain't seen. I've made for a background. That's got all my outdoor stuff that I use on there. But yeah, I mean, guys, I really appreciate every one of you. I love y'all to death. I'm glad y'all stuck around, come in and out of here a lot. You guys are amazing. I'm glad you guys got to join me on this unboxing. I really, really appreciate this. I am going to share it to my Facebook, which I shared the live stream, but I'm going to share the actual video of it getting done on Facebook. It's already going to be uploaded on YouTube. I better stop now before I end up hooking myself in the mouth with it. But I really appreciate you guys. You guys can follow me on Instagram at bowhunter9308. You can follow me on Facebook on my page at Southern Rebel Outdoors TV, or also, if you want to do it the easiest way possible, go to your little magnifying glass up there in your Facebook and hit the little at button. It's a little goofy A looking thing. And as soon as you hit that, then type in SOR308. 308 is a caliber of a rifle that I love the caliber of, but that's why I put it on there, just because it was the easiest that I could do. But just SOR 308 or SRO. I better look at that before I send you guys on a good Lord. SRO. I'm going to show this in a video. SRO 308 page. That's what it looks like. It has American. Basically, it has these colors as the deer skull. I don't know if it'll let me. Here. I'll show you what it looks like. That's what it looks like. That's the one I'm keeping as the picture of it. Once you see that on the front of the Facebook page, you'll know. And on there, you can give her a like. I don't know how many people I've got in there now, but I'm still getting people, weekly, monthly, whatever, coming in liking this. Do I have this shared on here? I'm pretty sure I do. Because this is my Facebook. I'm in my page. I created it almost 3 years ago. I think around 2018 I did. Let me see if I can find posts. Yeah. If you look right there's where I posted the video, so you guys can watch it. It shows me still live, and as soon as I end this, it's going to get re-uploaded onto this page. That way, in the future, if you guys want to go through and review and stuff like that, you can. I got that page for you guys. I'm doing this to be educational. A lot of people don't take their time. Yeah, a lot of people will educate on fishing. Speaking of, since I forgot almost to do this, since I'm on this, since this is going to be part of my Southern Rebel Outdoors and my SRO fishing, I'm going to show you. Now, YouTube, you can kiss my butt because this is not a firearm. But that's it. That's the new bow. And it's got my green. I've already took my old side off my old bow, put my Whisker Biscuit on here. But eventually, my ultimate goal for this bow right here, after I get my peep sight added, my D-loop added, I got to get this right here. This, gosh darn it. I was saying the name earlier today and I forgot. But I got to get this redone because it's too thin. My nocks won't fit on it. So it's going to have to be beefed up a little bit. But this bad boy right here is pushing IBO at 330, 70 pounds. I mean, it's wicked. And it's a single cam because right there's the only cam for it. Otherwise, I'd have another one up here. But that's just the roller wheel. I just don't have nothing to do with, the bow itself. I mean, I would draw it. That's 70 pounds. I mean, that's nothing. I'm used to shooting 70. But with this bow, it come factory stock with limb dampeners on it. It's also come stock with, I put these on here. At the top and the bottom of both limbs right here, it's got that on there. The string, the natural color of the string, this orange and like tan color, is the natural color of the string that come on it from the factory. So more than likely it's probably a zebra string. But later on down the road, probably by next year, I'm going to have this sucker decked out. It's not going to be just any regular hunting bow. This sucker is going to have a red, white, and blue string, red, white, and blue cable. It's going to have more than likely a red Whisker Biscuit. I'm going to do red, white, and blue up and down it. I'm changing the camo pattern. The camo pattern is Realtree Edge, which is the newest camo that they've come out with. I'm keeping it. The sight's staying unless I decide to get a new sight, but it's probably going to stay. But I'm going to do a red limb dampener here, a blue limb dampener here. Then I'm probably going to find something that I can put up my riser right here that will be white, so that way it matches, because I really want a red, white, and blue bow with camo to not only symbolize America, but symbolize the American redneck. Only I think well, technically I haven't. There's other bow people out there who shoot bows that have this, but I would be the one to think of this out of most of the people that I know. I want red, white, and blue because red, white, and blue is the most sexiest colors that I can do. I'm proud to be an American. And I'll be an American till the day I die. But this bow right here, this is the newest thing to my. This is the newest addition, other than my new fishing products that I've got, and I absolutely love it. And I plan on leaving that little sticker right there on. I plan on leaving it on. Um, that way I know exactly how many turns I'm allowed to back it out. But I maxed it out at 70. Well, technically around 72 to 74 pounds, what it's going to max out at. But once I get this set up and get this taken care of, get my D-loop, get my peep sight and all that done to it, I am going to have them put it on a bow scale and see how much it weighs. But anyways, guys, I'm going to cut this short because I've gone on too long for everybody. I really love y'all. Just remember, I'm your host, Jay Henselman. You can like me on Facebook on my page at SRO308. Don't forget to put the little A in front of it or you won't find it. You can find me on Instagram at bowhunter9308 on Instagram. I better double check that too. No, my retarded butt. You can find me on there once you get on there. And if you want my Facebook information, PM me on there. Don't do it on any of my posts. Just go to their what they call the direct message on my thing. It says message me. Just click that message and you can either send me your info, how to find you on Facebook, or I can send you how to find me on Facebook. But once I hit that 5,000 limit on friends on Facebook, I will be done. I won't be allowed to have any more, but I will go through and keep cleaning out my friends to keep people in there because I want all the people that I'm going to interact with and stuff like that. Like you can follow me. I'm pretty sure you can even follow me on Facebook. I'm sure there's a following button. I don't look at my account when I'm on another device like this laptop because I still got to go through and figure out how to get on my laptop or get on my Facebook on my laptop so I can get everything switched over. But in all reality, guys, I really appreciate each and every one of you fools. I love all of you to death. I'm hoping to do another video, and this time, hopefully, eventually, I will get my camera figured out. I will get that camera figured out. And hopefully, I can start doing videos and get them uploaded on here so that way I don't have to do live streams all the time. The only time I want to do live streams so that when I'm doing unboxings for fishing lures or unboxings for hunting stuff or whatever. But I appreciate each and every one of you. Just give me a like and subscribe here. I appreciate all of you. And once I get growing more, I am eventually going to do giveaways. I'm going to keep my word to that. I promise each and every one of you I'm going to do giveaways. I want to be able to return the favor for helping you guys grow to me. I am going to get my buddy Levi. He's going to be doing a fishing channel or outdoor channel as well. Me and him will probably be collabing a lot. Hopefully that's the ultimate goal, was to collab with him a lot. So we'll be filming each other constantly on each other's camera. So like my camera, it'll have him on it and me, and his camera will have me and him on there both. And we'll both be collabing a lot. I mean, we're very good friends. But anyways, guys, I appreciate each and every one of you. Getting that cotton mouth. I am going to end the stream. I appreciate y'all. Just remember, I'm your host, Jay Henselman. Just give me a like and subscribe here and find me on Facebook. And then if you want my personal Facebook account information, just direct message me on Instagram. I appreciate y'all. Thank you for watching and tuning in. Have a good night. Love y'all.